Hello, my name's Andrew, and this is my van Morpheus, a Ford Transit 2022 high roof with a full tank of gas for off-grid van life adventures. The only problem is, it's completely empty. Last summer I posted a video called Van Plan, where I set the goal of buying a Ford Transit by July of 2024. And after a year of hard work, I drove 328 miles to Connecticut and came back ready to start living my van life dream. However, when I pulled into the driveway, this crushing realization hit me that all I had really gained was a 5,000 pound, $700 a month hunk of metal, which was gonna take another $5,000 to $10,000 just to make it livable. So instead of a beautiful, relaxing, tiny home on wheels, I had to go straight back to the disappointment and distraction of living and working at my mom's house. The same exact place I had just left 3 days ago. Basically, it was like I had staggered across the finish line of a grueling marathon, only to be told that I had to run another even harder marathon that started right now. Depressed, I started spending a lot of time inside my van and up on the roof brainstorming ideas, like Blackbeard the pirate, scanning the horizon for treasure. And eventually it occurred to me that if I was gonna have to put my nose straight back to the grindstone, at least I should get to experience one perfect day of the van life I was working towards. For the next hour, I let my imagination run wild, pouring every frustrated desire that had built up over the past year out into my notebook, so that I could finally say, welcome to van life, day one. Because I've been living without a car for the past year, the first thing I wanted to do with my van was literally just go on an adventure somewhere, even if it was just a short trip to a local park. So I drove out to my favorite trailhead, praying that the van life gods would grant me adequate space to maneuver in the tiny gravel parking lot. And all I can say is thank God I didn't go with the extended length. With Morpheus docked, I strapped on some barefoot shoes and headed up the hill for an early morning hike through the pines. Oh look, the horses are out today. Let's go say hi. They really like grass. I wonder if they've seen my raw vegan video. Further on, the trail branched off into this gorgeous winding path, with little dips and mounds that were perfect for trail running. Racing along the dirt and feeling the pine-infused air coursing through my lungs, I experienced a sense of space that I hadn't connected with for a long time. Back at the van, I spun open a jar of veggie juice with celery, fennel, lime, and ginger, which packed a delicious kick of post-run electrolytes. And then munched on some sprouted granola with fermented chocolate and raw coconut yogurt. But even better was just getting to sit there with the cargo door open, soaking up the sun rays and having a minimalist breakfast somewhere entirely new. Pulling back into my mom's driveway, I decided to add some furniture, decorations, and minimalist utilities to make Morpheus feel a bit more van lifey. Moving my 66-inch black walnut desk inside was a pain, but totally worth it. And although I hadn't cut any windows yet, it was incredibly refreshing working on a video script with the back and cargo doors open. Also, my e-ink monitor looked brilliant, reflecting soft, natural light, and it was a sea change from working in my gloomy bedroom. For fun, I decided to try writing a vignette from the sci-fi series I want to start mapping out once I've got the van into a livable state. Another thing I've been putting off for years is working on my drawing skills. So I spent another half hour sketching out the scene with the headless robot, and like writing inside the van, I found it much easier to get lost in the moment. Even though I technically still had access to the internet, being out in nature seemed to create a sort of force field, repelling distracting thoughts. Also, in the past couple years, I've noticed myself playing my drum set less and less. So I hauled that into the van too. And although the acoustics were predictably terrible with exposed metal walls, I felt the return of this primal urge to release some sonic mayhem and close my eyes, happily stewing in the feedback of gnarly grooves. Around 5 p.m., I hung out on the bumper drinking coconut water, and honestly kind of bummed that my perfect day of van life was already 2/3 over, but also excited for the final act. For dinner, I pulled out a raw vegan pizza crust, covered it with alkaline tomato sauce, then sprinkled on some cashew cheese, free-range elk meat, and olives, which I awkwardly heated up in my Instant Pot. Honestly, it wasn't the most elegant meal I've ever fixed, but the pizza was still delicious, and it was super rewarding being able to work in my own little kitchen. Another thing I've been dying to do in the van was to listen to music through my Yamaha studio speakers. So I put on some Deftones, JPEG Mafia, Bjork, Tycho, King Cruel, Chester Watson, and Incubus to see how it felt. Again, the acoustics weren't great without insulation, but being in my own space amplified the good vibes as I danced around in the dark, an audience of one with the doors closed and the lights down low. Finally, because I sold my PlayStation back in 2020 to focus on writing my book 365 Comics, I hadn't played video games in over 4 years. So I picked up the old Xbox 360 from my dad's house to play some Elder Scrolls. Speaking of things I hadn't done in a while, I also made some special brownies and spent the next couple hours completely zoned out. Oh shit, I haven't played video games in so long, I'm so terrible. He detected me, oh shit. Let's see if I can kill him with a bow. Oh fuck, there we go. Wow, I remember playing Skyrim the first time and the graphics seemed so freaking good, but they look so terrible. Alright, here we go. It's time to piss off some guards. Hey buddy. Oh,
the Imperial Legion will have your blood.
Oh, he's gonna kill me. Damn it. He's like walking away with arrow. He's got an arrow sticking out of his shoulder. Typical Bethesda. By nighttime, I was feeling kind of sad again at the prospect of having to move all of my stuff back into my old bedroom. So I climbed up onto the roof of the van and watched the stars come out, like an astronaut, soaking up the vastness of space and all the possibilities that came with it. Later, stretched out reading the sci-fi novel Acceptance by Jeff Vandermeer, I had the sense of being nestled inside a metal cocoon, safe and chill in my own home for the first time since I left my apartment in 2016. When I woke up the next morning, it was with my creative batteries fully charged, ready to take on the final leg of this exhilarating, bone-crushing, insane, beautiful journey toward van life, toward freedom. Overall, I emerged from my perfect day feeling as if I got a confirmation from the universe that van life is what I'm meant to do, where I'm meant to go, and who I'm meant to be. So I greatly appreciate you all coming along thus far, and I can't wait to see where Morpheus, God of Dreams, will take us next. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.